And that's the process of growing. An
Okay.
artist who appreciates paintings and art will
And-
have a taste of his own that has to be satisfied.
And you? Monks do have a lot of desires or very simple?
We try to live a simple life with high thinking, but
Because-
the truth is we all have our personalities.
Okay, so because the reason I ask is, it seems like the purpose that you were saying of life is to stop the desire. But if desire
No,
is
you
part
can't
of,
stop desire. You have
I mean,
to channelize.
channelize,
You have to sublimate. You have to
Right.
change your desires into better desires, more subtle
to
desires.
realize who
Yes.
you really are as the life essence, as that infinite entity. So then, can people, is desire is it connected in any way to thinking, desire?
Thinking is just how desires sprout.
So what is the first one? Is it the thoughts or the desire that came about first?
The urges are primal urges. When you are born as a human being, you have primal urges. You have necessities for food that are primal, that whether you are thinking or you're not thinking, the instinct, the pure survival instinct is dominating, and you need to eat, you need to feed, you need to sleep. But as you grow as an individual, even the child running around will like one toy and not like the other toy. A growing up person, youth, he will choose a sport, he will choose a girlfriend, he will choose the club, he will choose something to do and not to do, and the way he likes to dress or not to dress. He may get influenced by the trends, but he has his also personal choices. And it's a natural phenomenon, it's a healthy thing, because we live in a world full of variety, a world with all kinds of expressions of life. It's natural that each individual is a unique individual, and that individual has taste, unique taste as well. So it's rather than suppressing that tendency, it's better to give people possibility to express freely all those desires, because the desires get expressed and fulfilled, they help you to mature and overcome them. But if you stop someone from fulfilling his desire, then he gets a knot, then he can't go any beyond that. He gets stuck. So,
if I have a desire, for example, to eat ice cream, and after that desire is expressed, and you give me ice cream, there's a desire again to eat chocolates, right? So does it actually stop the desire by channeling it, or does it fuel some more desire?
well, suppose you are an obese lady, and you like to control your weight. You know that if you go to pastry shops every day and you look at the pastries, you're going to eat more and more pastries with cream, whipped cream, rich cream. And eventually you're not going to fulfill your target of, keeping your health and keeping your figure and etc. So that person might consider, I should eat fruits instead of pastries. And they are also sweet, and they could be a substitute to pastries. I'll eat some fruit. Instead of drinking Coca-Cola, I'll drink some natural beverage like fruit juice, squeezed fruit juice, or some coconut water or something else. So eventually people do have substitutes to channelize their whims.
And it doesn't end, does it?
Well, eventually we are all here for a purpose, and until and unless we find why I'm here for, we cannot get a direction to our life. But once I believe seriously, I believe with all my heart that I'm here to fulfill something in the deeper sense, close to life essence, then you are going to live in a way as close as possible to be conducive to that goal for your life. So you will approach more and more to the subtle things of nature. Subtle arts, subtle music, subtle food, subtle habits, subtle thoughts, subtle actions.
So is it possible that to stop desire, it's not? Because it seems like the life essence after death comes out because the mind shuts off. Oh, and then suddenly, because they are two opposite entities, as far as we've talked about the differences between the life essence and the mind, it seems like they are two opposites. The mind is finite, the life essence is infinite. So it seems like they cannot coexist. But then when you say we can just transform, well, when does it sort of stop and the life essence
it's a very simple thing, you know, like we live in a world of duality. There is so many different objects in the world and so many entities all floating in this world. So naturally we cannot just have a single desire. We have to have multiple desires, because we know so many people and we interact with so many people and we interact with so many objects. Like when you go to, when you need a computer, you go to a shop, you will see how many laptops in that shop. 100. There is a laptop for every taste, for every imaginative color that you can, you know, figure out. So naturally, we have to have multiple desires, because we are a complex being with so many 5 sensory organs and 5 motor organs and so many emotions guiding us.
Is it possible to have self-realization with all of those that you just said?
What I want to say is that you don't really stop the desires. You gradually desire God above all the other desires. When that attraction becomes predominant, then these desires will all merge into that one single desire, which is desire to realize life essence. That will predominate. And when that does predominate, it is overwhelming. And you will get into a flow.
Release all your desire.
You get into a flow, a sweet flow. And that sweetness is so great that everything else loses its
all
meaning.
other desires, like the ones that we normally have, sort of just shuts off.
Yes, because people gradually realize that everything I get in this material world is very temporary in nature, and nothing of those things can fulfill my desire. You know, it's just it's like a mirage. You get something and oh, it's nothing. You get another thing, oh, it's nothing. It's all very temporary. So eventually you are looking for something more lasting, like peace of mind, like love, real love.
Which is infinite. Because love itself might have a polarity, and peace itself might have a... What you're talking about is the infinite.
No, there is love for the world, and there is love for
that's infinite.
Life essence.
Uh-huh.
The real love,
maybe
prema.
We should invent.
Prema is the word for real love. Okay. Shreya is the love for everything that exists in the world. Like pleasure. We feel pleasure.
Okay, beautiful. We'll be back.